Good morning. Thank you for joining me for another 5 good minutes with the Word. I'm Barry Bryson, and we're in Matthew's Gospel, excuse me. Today, I kind of wish we were in Mark's Gospel. And we're going to talk about Jesus calming the storm. We're in Matthew chapter 8, verses 23 through 27. When he got into the boat, so before going to the other side, he's done all this teaching on the seashore, in other words. He hasn't gone over to the other side yet. Last time we were together, he wanted to go to the other side. When he got into the boat, his disciples followed him. And behold, there arose a great storm on the sea, so that the boat was being swamped by the waves. But he was asleep. And they went and woke him up, saying, "Save us, Lord, we're perishing." And he said to them, "Why are you afraid, O you of little faith?" Then he arose, rebuked the winds and the sea, and there was a great calm. And the men marveled, saying, "What sort of man is this, that even the winds and the sea obey him?" Such an important miracle in the life of Jesus, and especially for his disciples. I think they're going to learn a great deal in this event. I love this event in Mark, probably because I'm a Westerner, and I like things that are visual and cinematic. And that's what Mark's gospel is throughout. Mark gives us the longest version of this. The shortest gospel gives us the longest version of this event. But the details are all the same. Mark tells us things like the water was coming into the boat, that Jesus was asleep on the seat of the boat with his head laying on a seat cushion. Mark tells us that the disciples say, "Don't you care that we're dying?" That more than just saying, "Save us," they're saying, "Don't you care?" And Mark's the one who tells us what Jesus says to make the winds and the waves stop, which is, "Stop it." It's like talking to the kids in the back seat of the car. "Stop it, or I'll turn this van right around." Jesus is rebuking like a child who's acting badly, the winds and the rain. He just stands up and says, "Stop it," and complete calm. It all stops immediately. It goes from to. And the cool thing that Mark does in his communication of this story is he uses the word fear, but not at the beginning, at the end. It's only after the calm arrives that he says they were afraid. Matthew gives us the exact same details of the story. And Jesus saying, "Why did you have such little faith?" What was he expecting of them, you know? Well, I think there's this. If they had listened to him and knew anything about who he is and what he was there for, and if they knew anything about Old Testament prophecy concerning the Messiah, they would know that the Messiah is not going to drown on the Sea of Galilee. That's not the way the Messiah is going to die. But in the moment, I think we comprehend and we understand that when your life is being threatened instantly, it's hard to do the math in your head rationally. Jesus, however, was able to sleep through all of it because he did know in his head and in his heart that he was not going to drown on the Sea of Galilee. That's not the way that he was going to die. And so he was able to sleep. Such a powerful, powerful event. And like in the Gospel of Mark, it precedes the event of the person with demons. So Matthew in Matthew's Gospel hasn't been called yet. And so it's interesting to think about that when we think about the next event, because Matthew evidently was not a disciple of Jesus when these events happened. So he's not an eyewitness to the events that we have been talking about. And he will not be an eyewitness to the healing of the paralytic or of Legion, the man or the two men who have demons, a myriad of demons that need to be that need to be cast out. Well, we'll look at that next time. Thank you so much for joining me for another 5 good minutes with the Word. I'm Barry Bryson, and we'll pick up in chapter 8 with verse 35 next time. Thank you.